Gratitude is simply the attitude.
You can go through really difficult times, but if there's something that you love, in my case, my son and music, you keep them safe and you nurture them, something good's gonna come. The education to one's wellness within their brain is just not looked at the same way with their physical body. You do whatever it is that you need to do to sort it because you know it's your health, but with your brain, all of a sudden, doesn't matter.
The One Devotion Roadie, we have a woman in the building who always brings great vibrations to the studio. She's super talented. We was talking off mic, is she an OG now? I think so. But she's claiming not. She's absolutely brilliant. Miraa May in the building. What one?
Thank you.
Sis, I haven't seen you in the flesh in many years.
Yeah, you haven't seen me since 2020.
There you go. And since then, obviously, culturally, lots has happened, but you're a proper mum now, you know?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It is a joy. You know what's so funny? The last time you saw me, I had given birth within, I think it was like maybe a couple months after I'd given birth.
Crazy.
Yeah, because it was still, I gave birth in May and it was still sunny.
Yeah, I remember
we did our shoot.
Yeah, I remember it, yeah.
So it couldn't have been more than 3 months.
You was fresh, mumsy.
I was fresh.
And since then, obviously, as a father, I know how life-changing the whole thing is.
Yeah.
And for me personally, even though fatherhood is obviously challenging at times, it proper sorted me out.
Yeah.
It were like, without me kids, I'd still be running mad.
Yeah.
And I would be, to be honest, I think I'd be a bit of a mess. And I think my children brought this like stillness to my life. Even though it's not still, it's completely chaotic internally, I had to get still. And yeah, I mean, for me, it changed my life for the full positive. And knowing you and knowing and having little conversations, it feels like a similar journey with you too.
100%. Like, I literally say it all the time. Like, if I didn't have, it's deep, but if I didn't have my son, I think I would have been the latter. I would have been probably somebody who didn't make it out of COVID the same way.
Got it.
And I feel like, obviously, having my son in COVID as well was just like, looking back at it retrospectively, was so painful and so difficult, but because I'm so strong and because my whole life I've been battling so many different things, it was just like, yep, this is just another thing that's just hard.
Yeah.
And let's just go. And I think at the end, because there was no way to get out and like sort myself out the way that I usually would through work or whatever, because we were all locked up, like I was really forced to like look within, and it was just terrifying.
Of course.
Like, so I think looking back at it now, I'm like, wow, if not for that baby, because with or without him, like I still would have had to look in.
Yeah.
Because that was a time that no one could really escape.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I know some people like obviously found light through COVID, but I feel like there is a bit of the spectrum where people just, it completely crushed them.
Absolutely.
And people have come out of COVID with like certain, they've realised things about themselves, or COVID's caused them some sort of like mental health and
all of that.
All that stuff. So to come out of COVID, have this beautiful little boy who's just running me wild. Like I never thought someone could match me. My son.
So he's matching it, yeah?
He's matching me so much. He's my baby, innit? So like, of course he's gonna match me. Like he's just such a blessing and such a positive energy. If he wasn't here, I don't think I'd be here. And I'd made my album, like I put, I've dedicated so much to him already. Like he's so much part of my journey as a musician.
Yeah.
And I think that was my way of like showing people, look, like you can go through adversity, you can go through really difficult times, but if there's something that you love, in my case, my son and music, you keep them safe and you nurture them, something good's gonna come. Like, do you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
So,
I totally, that's the thing with me now. It's like my whole life is like children and music.
Yeah,
and it's
literally.
It's such a beautiful marriage. And I tell you about, obviously we're talking gratitude and gratefulness and upfulness. Every day when I get home, I open the door, I'll say something funny. The latest one is, gratitude is there. And they'll go, attitude.
They're sick and tired.
Every day when I walk home and I hear those voices, it's just light. It's light, right? And I remember as well, like, obviously I didn't give birth, but I attended. And I remember when the first one come out and they brought Oisin up out of water, he popped up and I had no idea what the shoot was going to look like, No idea. But he didn't look like anything I thought he was going to look like. And he went, and he was like, and he looked at me and it was the most grateful moment of my life.
Babies.
Unbelievable. Joy. And then obviously like fitting it into music and stuff. they don't necessarily encourage it to be hand in hand in the music biz, right?
Yeah.
It's like, just work.
Yeah, there's a big stigma, oh my God. People said I was done.
Swear down.
Yeah, oh my God, people that I didn't think would even say it as well said it. I know they said it and I know they thought it. And like, it was expected, but it was still a shock when it came because obviously for me, I didn't tell no one for time as well. I hid it until I was Big Belly on stage with Western.
Right.
And I was like, I'm Big Belly, like my belly is big, like, do you know what I mean? So let me just tell people, like, whatever, I'm not trying to hide it, do you know what I'm saying? So, but it was like, for me, I don't understand why it was such a big deal that I had a baby. Like, obviously, clearly, I would have thought about what I wanted. If I felt like, for me, I wanted to chase and I was never going to have time and ... I would have taken whatever meant. Like, I wouldn't have got myself into a situation where I could have got pregnant in the first place.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So for me, it was just like, I allowed myself for life to follow its course. I don't feel like anything that you do in your life, whether it be work, no one singular thing in your life can stop you from experiencing life. So if you're now not experiencing life because your job, that doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I could never keep a job. Do you get me? Because after a couple of months, I'm doing stuff. Like, and it's like, like, I'm late. I just don't show up. Then I don't even go through the firing process. I just don't come back. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's just like, what happened to Miraa? I exit the group chat, everything. Like,
later.
I'm just gone. So for me, when I got pregnant, people said to me, like, you know, it's going to be hard to...
How have you...
What? I was thinking, how? Like...
How have you navigated through that kind of, you know, stigma?
Pride.
Yeah.
Pride.
So, no, I'm tough.
There's no way you can tell me I can't do something.
I can't do it.
There's no way.
I mean, you are so that anyway.
I'm Algerian. I'm so prideful. I have so much pride. It's not good, but sometimes it does help me.
No, I think it's positive. I think, like...
I use it in a positive way.
Yeah,
but it is something that also on the side I'm working on, trying to not let my pride stop me again from living my life and doing what I feel like... You know, God forbid, if we was to die tomorrow, would I have wanted not to say what I wanted to say? Or tell whoever I wanted to tell what I wanted to tell them?
Yeah.
Even if they're like, you know, whatever, it's fine, I did it. I said it. Like, whatever the outcome, that's not my business. I can't to help that, but I've done what I feel like I tried. Do you know what I mean?
Some of the best advice I ever got from someone was that people's reactions are always not your problem. So, for example, if I go up to Roddy now and slap his face and he hits me back, fair enough, right? But if I have something to say that I believe internally about something or someone that I believe is authentic, and you go, oh, you absolute twat, your reaction is not my issue.
Yeah, like, you can have that reaction. It's like the internet. Like, you can have that reaction. Like, do you get me? I'm still going to wake up in the morning, do breakfast, get the baby dressed, take him nursery. Like, I'm still going to do those things. But I just let pride make me... I'm just very, like, if you tell me I can't, I will.
It's happening.
Like, yeah, and I think I've had that since I was a kid. But 3 weeks after I gave birth, I was in Alexandra Palace doing virtual wireless.
I swear. Of
I was
course,
singing.
it was lockdown,
Listen, I was wearing cycling shorts and a big t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, do you get me? Just 3 weeks ago, I gave birth, big man. What were you doing?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm on this stage, I'm doing my thing, and from when it was safe enough, and when I felt like it was appropriate enough to start taking my child to work, to create that last album, to get me out of my deal, I did it.
Well
I took my child, and there's documented footage, and we made a thing of that. You come into a studio, hella women, so many women, engineers are women, producers, my manager, auntie, friend, photographer, everyone's a woman, and there's a baby in the room.
Beautiful.
Like, and we're making an album. Do you get what I mean? It's like, I don't really, again, how that album did and what it's not my, I can't be in charge, nor can I let it affect me. But what I've done and the stories that I can now tell my child, the facts, you know, I'm not making nothing up. There's proof. Like, that, for me, it's like, they told me I couldn't and I did.
Absolutely.
I don't know what kind of, like, beautiful energy that's going to give my child when he grows up, and the confidence it's going to give him when he grows up and he's in those social situations.
Fierceness.
And he's thinking, some teacher tells him in class that he can't do nothing, in his head it's not going to bother him, because he knows. No.
My mum always...
Do you know who my mum is? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Do you know who my dad is? Like, no, I'm going to... You can say what you want, Mr. Whoever, but when I go home, I'm telling my mum. When my mum comes down to the school, you lot are gonna have to explain yourselves. Like, just like that. Like, I feel like things like that for me, I'm glad that I'm somebody who can tell these stories so that the other women who are having babies and want to pursue a career don't feel like they can't. You absolutely can. It's hard, but then so is doing it without the baby as well. It's not easier. It's just two different versions of hard. Like, do you get me? But at least I've got, for me, something that's going to keep me focused and centered. Don't put myself in any situations that I feel like can damage me, and I really have that proper like thoughtfulness to think about what I'm doing and where I'm going, and because of him. So that, I feel like anybody would want that. You would want that like precursor to say, hey, like, don't do that because ... But a lot of people don't have it. So, and I'm not saying you can only get it from a child, but a child is one way.
Well,
like, do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's kind of, you've just said in your way more eloquently about why my children have sorted me out. Because I have like a purpose and a routine and a structure that I would never have otherwise, and I'd be a mess. I think the thing is, like, obviously you're done. All that mentality. It's like for certain people within the industry, that moment was inconvenient, right? So like, this singer who we really want to make some money off is doing something that we don't see part of the plan. Pro-recreation is everyone's point on earth.
Which is like, how dare you? Because how did you get here?
See it there?
Do you know what I'm saying?
What's your wife up to?
If your mum had that perception, would you even be here? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and
it's wild.
For me, again, like, hence why I didn't say anything. It was no one's business, In my culture as well, I don't really reveal those kind of things too early, do you know what I mean? Like, and then when I did, I was just like, even with or without the baby, I still see this time that people, Mira's been like, first of all, it was COVID. I don't know where you lot thought I was going to be. I was definitely going to be in my yard. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, second of all, everyone took that little time after COVID to like, it's only 2024. Like, if anything, I still would have been chilling. It's just that I've just kind of completed a life mission that I didn't, things, I don't know, like life, I allowed life to happen. And now I'm still continuing to let life happen.
You've just...
And learning and just getting older and being more like...
Done it your way.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
28.
Yacht!
And I 28.
Jeez, that's what I'm saying. I had my first kid at 28, and so it's like I started your journey later, and there's no right or wrong time. I'm a man, it's different, so the perception and all that. But I said off at the start, slightly you're an OG, And I'll tell you why. No, wait. Because you're still here.
I'm getting there.
I feel like you've got a lot more to give, not just musically, but just as a human.
Absolutely. I will be one.
Yeah.
Like, that is undeniably a fact. And you know how my pride goes. Like, I will make sure that I will be one. How long it takes me and when it's going to be, not in my control. And even if I was to go tomorrow, that's my goal. So in a way, the way I think about it sometimes, it's like, okay, cool. You see how like, you say like, before I'm gone, I want to read this book. And even if you don't get to the end of the book, if you go and you was reading it, it kind of already checks off because you was in processes of doing it. Like, whatever I don't do here, I'm gonna do in the afterlife. Do you get me? Because I'm going to a good place because I'm a good person. Like, I feel like those are my morals, my compass to be like, okay, cool. If something doesn't work out in this life, be a good person, be kind, share. Do you know what I mean? Look out for people. Like, stand up for things. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't do people wrong. Try help people. All these same things that kind of get lost in our jobs and what we do. It's almost anti all of those things. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, and it's like, how do you not lose yourself and how do you actually become someone better and live your life properly whilst you're in these almost there's so many Illuminati and music is haram. Do you get me? I'm a Muslim. It's like, you do music, like, do you get me? Like, so many. It's a lot of judgment and a lot of like, your parents always say, hey, no, go to school. Do you know? Don't do music. They don't get into that because it has this dark stigma. So I'm just trying to be somebody who like brings some light out of that stigma to say like, look, I'm still living. I'm still a normal human being. Don't ever really want that level of like notoriety. I'm not really for that. I like small, close, intimate things. Do you get what I mean? But I'm a people person at the same time. I love making people happy and I love making people better. And it's so sad because like, I know a lot of people that have struggled literally because of the opinions of others, myself included.
Of course.
Like, don't think that because I'm saying all of this stuff that I haven't been at the bottom of the barrel, being the most person who cares about what everyone says. Like, I literally allowed people and what they said and their view of me and everything to proper rock me. Like, it rocked me. I was thinking, raw, like, I'm not a good person. And I was thinking, wait, hold on a minute. Like, the people that I have around me, they love me, and like, I have a child who I take care of who loves me, and I know that I don't do anything. Like, I just felt like everyone's gaslighting me. Like, I was thinking, wait, like, how am I getting gaslit by the internet? Like, this, I need to actually sort my shit out. And this was like when I was about 20, 24, 25, 26 was like, 27 was like, 28 is like,
Yeah,
okay.
it takes a while, man.
I get it. Like, I get it. Like, my child's at a certain stage now where it's you know, we can communicate and it's easier to, you know, look after him. And like, my spirit is in a place now where I feel like I've done what I need to do. Mm-hmm. So all of that reckless behaviour and all of that putting out music and, you know, just not even caring, not caring about it, but just putting out vibes, just vibes, like not really taking myself seriously and having fun and being wild, and I did all of that.
Yeah, man.
I've done all of that now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Closed out, babe.
Yeah, it's closed and did that, done it, not interested.
So you're Muslim, right?
Yeah,
right?
I am.
Yesterday, we had Crystal in the building. She's Christian.
Christian, yeah.
You practice the liberty of Rastafari.
Yes.
I never came up in a household with set faith. And every time I'm around people like yourselves, and Adrian I work with is a staunch Christian, his dad's a pastor. I never entered that world till I met certain people. So when I went to Adrian's church, I walked in like 10 minutes in, I felt so safe. And it was like I'd never had that experience growing up. And that communal experience, even though I wasn't there for the reason, I was just there to see my friend and see how he lives, was so like heartwarming and so like, it made me feel safe, man. And I think that community spirit from any faith, it's something that I've never had. Is a real lovely blanket in your life that I slightly kind of wish I had.
I think outside of, you know, faith, which is difficult to say because it's bigger than we anyway, I think the people who we engage with daily, the people we speak to, the people who we have love for, the people who show gratitude, X, Y, and Z, that is our community.
True.
If you know what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, man, I feel like we can create that feeling.
Well, yeah, that's definitely what I try to do, especially as I get older, and weed out certain aspects that don't make me feel great. You know what I mean? Or about who I am. Like you said, you started to believe you were something that you weren't because the internet said so or an industry person said so. And I've tried to wean that out so that everyone around me is like, I can be authentic with back and forth. And that alone is like a coping mechanism for me to be happy. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I mean about the faith thing is like when I've entered those spaces and everyone's there for the same reason, there's an energy to that that's so beautiful, regardless of who you are looking at. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just think that, for example, yesterday, Chris was saying every Sunday I try and go here and do this.
Yeah. And ground myself again.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Having that almost like routine grounding is like a discipline within itself, innit? Whether that's for a God of faith or just a thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm trying to just practice that in little ways. Because my mind's quick, innit? We're all music people, right? So today I just stopped, I just looked at the flowers. And then sent a video to mum and went, the flowers are waiting!
Yeah, gratitude.
You know what I mean? Gratitude.
Yeah.
Not just zum.
What, so like, in your experience, as you're saying, you know, adolescence, growing up, people, industry, whatever, what things have kept you grounded, you know?
Definitely faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say faith. I would say, you know, my siblings, my family, my extended family, get me, like, people like Tasia, like, those are the people that have kept me grounded. And I think it got to a point where, again, like, it just felt like, because I think, like, you can still sometimes be in such a dark place that you're unfortunately, it's like when you're sick, you can't get up and go to work. You're sneezing, your nose is blocked, like you're coughing. It's not good for people. You're sick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, So that sickness in the mind can make you not be grateful and not see the gratitude sometimes because you're just not able to, and you need somebody to come and give you some medicine. You need to be around your friends. You need to ground yourself so you can come out of that. And like, again, like faith and the people that you have, I think are the most important things that you can have. And even if it's not, like for me, I have so many Christian friends, like so many friends that believe in so many different things. And as long as you're kind of believing in something, for me, it just makes me, again, feel that blanket, because I feel like with belief comes community, because there are more people that believe the same thing as you. So like, you know, and again, the similarities between like all of our faiths, as so different as they are, is that like the root is to keep people safe and not do people wrong. Like
love.
that's, and love, and to love and care and nurture people, sharing food and, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like gathering as a community on whatever said day to XYZ. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like that is what's in common. So I feel like even as a person, if you don't necessarily believe in a faith, if you still have that, someone could be like you said, you didn't grow up in necessarily like any type of faith, but I'm pretty sure that those things were instilled. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and you find it sometimes when, like, for example, indigenous communities, like they don't follow any said faith, but it's their faith, and it's still the same moral principles. So like, that's what I kind of like keep as my basis. Everyone around me is the same, just by design. I don't. It's not like I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like everyone can, but the people who are around me, they're just like that.
Oneness.
Oneness,
A one link.
Limited.
Yeah, we'll share anything. Like there's no one around me that if I didn't have something, they wouldn't give it to me, or
vice versa.
Yeah. I hear it fully.
And like I literally, like if I don't have it, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like if I have it, I'll give it to you. Like, if I don't have it,
we
will find it.
We'll find a way.
Yeah, we're gonna find. That's my problem now. Do you get what I mean? And I feel like if you've got people around you that love you so much, that's the depth that I love you. I'm a hard lover. Like, I feel like God just made me like that. Because with everything I've been through in my life, I really shouldn't be. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like the ability that I have to like love and really care, it's like, what the hell? Like, I got to do something with this, clearly. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, otherwise I'm just sitting here feeling this feeling of like, I want to, but I won't though, because obviously it's going to make me seem like I care too much. That's not.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you do music then.
Probably, I don't know.
Maybe that's the funnel for all that love that's there that needs to be shared through the arts, because that's the one way of spreading it way further than you could potentially do as an individual.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
It's interesting what you say about when you're in a state of mind, whatever that's diagnosed as. It's really hard to practice anything positive internally, and I think that's important to express here, because the whole point of this series is about gratitude. But there's times in my life when no matter what I tell myself or what I do or what I try and practice, it ain't resonating. It's like there's a healing process before you get to that. It's like, in sports, right? You bust your ankle on football field. You don't just get back up and start kicking. It takes 6 months to sort it, and then you can try and then build on that. And I think what the point of this is like more of a lighter version of day-to-day activity that can really change your mind. So by that, I mean, it's like once you're in that space, it's like I've been there a few times, it's red alert, it's survival mode. Let me get through this, and get to a place where then I can like heal properly. But what my whole being is now is like to try and not get back to that space. It's loads of little things, right?
Yeah.
And one of them is practicing better mindset and better gratitude. So, and there's other things, there's exercise, there's not drinking, there's this, there's that, etc. But I'm in a place right now where I can practice that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I say that to say, if anyone's listening who's really not in that place of even being able to heal, it takes its time, and then when you're out of that space, it's about, for me personally anyway, it's little bits and bats. Like I say, don't drink anymore because that was just a big plaster. I forced myself to exercise. I don't like exercising. I don't think many people do. I try and think differently. Mindset is very important for me. So, for example, stop thinking about everything in doom and gloom. Even if you don't believe yourself, keep thinking about the positive side. But it takes ages to rewire a mind. Years.
I think it's okay not to be okay as well, though.
Absolutely.
I think, like, we're not here screaming, gratitude is attitude all the time, you know, it's all flowers and, no, it's not. Like, understand there are times where you will be, as Miraa said, you know, sick and you need meds. Or as T said, do you know what, I'm not really too there today.
The world is a dark place, man.
Balance, though, innit?
Like, I don't know whether all of these music videos got everyone's head just forgetting, but the world is a dark place.
Yeah.
And when you listen to all the music from back in the day, it reflects that because it was more honest than the music that is now. I'm not saying the music that comes out now isn't honest because it's our perspective on life now, but there's so many more distractions now. It's built so much more distraction for everyone so that they can be better, so that they don't have to think about how dark the world is. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's some people who usually, those people are the ones who either put it upon themselves or the world decides for them that they are going to go and be in control of people's feelings. Whether it be a musician, an artist, an actor, somebody who, I don't know, like scores, a pianist, I don't know, like, do you get me? You know those people that like, that are involved, that are like, when I see certain actors play a role, I'm sitting there with my eyes streaming.
Yeah,
Because
emotion.
They've triggered my emotion. And those people, that's their job, yeah? And like, that comes with your eyes wide open to darkness more than the regular person. Or you suffer from a mental illness in which you don't know. So even me, for example, I'm within the processes of starting to screen myself and finally test myself because I've actually the things I've been through, they actually change your chemistry. So I should. And I'm seeing it with my son as well. So I'm thinking, okay, like I need to go because I don't actually even know my family bloodline. I don't really know, like, there's certain people that we don't know, so who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could be a schizophrenic in the family and nobody knows,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's the reason why I've been feeling so shit for so many years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting it on myself, but at the same time, I feel like the education to one's wellness within their brain is just not looked at the same way with their physical body. Do you know what I'm saying? Your back hurts or you have an illness and you run to the doctor and we sort that out. You go from NHS to distances, you do whatever it is that you need to do to sort it because you know it's your health. But with your brain, all of a sudden, doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying?
I've got to hide this one. I can't really be public about this one, but my broken leg. Absolutely.
So like you're taking pictures and you're neglecting your mental wellness. And I feel like when you do that, like that's when things go downhill. You have to prioritize these things. We've lost so many people, so many people that we love, that their music still exists today. Like, do you know what I mean? Even up until recently, like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like we really do, like, as a community of musicians, as a community of creatives in general, I'm talking about even people who put together adverts or, do you know what I mean, directors, like producers, like people who are involved in the creation of manipulating and setting off people's emotions, yeah? Like, we need to make sure that there's a community for us to stay safe. I don't know how many runners or how many producers or editors are just, like, crammed. They just work, and they haven't seen sunlight. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, you have to think about, like, the trickling effect from artists, from talent, all the way down, from the song to the talent, to the engineer, to the, like, how, like, do you get me? It can get very smoky rooms, 7 days a week, working with so many different, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, that can affect your brain so much, and then you haven't even deeped what you've been through as an individual.
Absolutely.
That's just what you do on a day. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
That alone is a lot, right? But the maddest part is, this is how I got into music, is because there's something in my mind as a youth that the distraction and the kind of like feeling that music gave me was so beautiful. And later in life, I've clocked why. It's because I had all this stuff going on and it was a blanket again.
Yeah.
And I'd say 95% of the people that come and sit in the studio have a similar thing.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes, we're clocking each other's brains and we're like, oh, we're in the same reason. So we got into music for the same reason. So before we've even started that, whether that comes through like a traumatic experience, the way your DNA is done, whatever, you're in music because essentially you're not fitting into this society box anyway. Now you're in music and it's a mad thing. So you're already in. And so all those experiences, the baseline, but that's it, like all that, like the people that come in here and paint pictures with words or guitar or whatever, they're beautiful people because their experience has created this art that then they share.
Communicate.
And the brain doesn't like fit into this box. And as you say, that box, when you're out of that box, isn't treated as serious as it is physical health and things like that.
I think if everyone could do it, then everyone would.
Absolutely.
Why? If do you know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It looks like it's not that deep what we do in a way. Like, do you get me? Like being a musician or being a creative, like, but not anyone can maybe go through something or maybe grow up in a community. It's also about where you grow up and where and your surroundings.
Absolutely.
If not half of the factor of who you are is where you're from. Do you know what I mean? Like whether it be the city that you're from, the country that you're from, combination, like whatever. Like, but like that for me, for you know, let's say like a inner city London boy to like just grow up and then grab a mic and rap and be fucking sick at it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not something that everyone can do. As much as right now in the current climate that we have, it's very saturated. And I think a lot of people have realised that music might be a very quick gateway to fame. Do you know what I'm saying? Like because the concept of fame now is completely warped into like people feel like they need it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in order to create more revenue for themselves, which in a way is not even their fault because that's how it comes across. Do you know what I'm saying? Like so it's like, but for people who are just trying to navigate through sonics or through visuals, that's a different ball game. Like yes, like sometimes like I might, you know, do the internet stuff, but at the same time it's like I've got a job to do and it comes from you know, either a dark place or a place of escapism or a place of like just somewhere that's not necessarily like simple to explain, basically. Like, so for me, I don't know. I'm really big on the welfare of these people, myself included, yourself included. We're like the medicine men of the generations. We're just trying to feed people positive energy or, you know, music that's going to make them feel like they've been heard. That's, for me, if I'm writing songs about heartbreak or I'm writing songs about, I want there to be a woman somewhere who is like, that's how I feel. I'm like, yes, I hate you. And I've had that conversation with her, I don't even know her. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like the quickest way to spread a conversation between me. Like, oh my God, you actually hear me? Yes, oh my God, he did me wrong. Like when Keisha Cole sang, I should have cheated. Like so many people were like, yes! Like even when I'm seeing like, that song's so old, like, and I'm seeing like kids of like this, younger, like they're like 15, 16, like somewhere in America singing that song word for word. And I'm just like, you see like how like, it just, music doesn't die and it like, if it's really good, it doesn't die and it's a way you can leave an imprint on the world forever. Like for there to be songs that I can sit and cry to is like, thank you for this medicine. Because otherwise, who would get me? If I didn't watch films that were basically my situation, or if there weren't any like think pieces, or if there wasn't any like, I don't know, like artists who've gone through similar, like I would feel like there's like, I would go, like I would leave. Do you get me? Because there's no one that gets me. Like, and I'm alone. And I think, see maximum security, see when they really want to punish you before death sentence, they put you by yourself. They let you stay by yourself because they know that more than torture, more than anything, that will really cripple you. Like, do you get me? Like, this is why I'm just like you get me? Like, it frustrates me because as somebody who wants to like change the world, I know I can't like by myself. Do you get me? Like I know I'm incapable of like being a one-man band to just come and do it. So it's like I have to just try to make my little world that I have, it's a big world and then my little world, as much perfect as I can.
I get it because there is a feeling, I think, from everyone, particularly now, because of the amount of information we can receive, all literally from the ground of certain scenarios. It's like there's unfiltered. I think you feel helpless in it because there's so much madness going on, and you're seeing it for the first time like never before. And I think we've all been through that experience of like, what on earth can I do? And I think your ethos is a really good one because you can't change much as a one man or one woman thing, but what you can do is look at your little ecosystem.
And if you're close, they'll get you.
You get what I'm saying?
If you're close, they'll get you.
See
so
there?
Either way, even if you succeed, you won't succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
The evil is just too.
Yeah, it's too mad,
strong,
especially
right?
at the minute,
Yeah.
sadly. So you have a little ecosystem of people or friends or community, and within that, I believe that is a very feasible way of doing it. And as we mentioned before, Rody, that can trickle down again. So you could help or change one person's life with your great teachings and knowledge, but then they can run with that too.
Yeah.
So it's like a tree, isn't it? It's like you think you might be doing something for one set of people or whatever, but it can really spread. And I think for me personally, I came to that realization not too long ago of like helplessness within the bigger picture, and just think, right, I'm just going to do this because that's what I feel like I can do, and it's realistic.
Yeah.
It's rough though, man, because like I say, the access is there. It's a dark time, and you feel helpless a lot.
Yeah.
I think that speaks for a lot of people. I want to just give you some personal gratitude. In 2020, or probably 2019, we made a tune in the studio.
Serious.
And it was a love letter to Notting Hill Carnival.
Yes, it was.
It's called Carnival Love.
Yeah.
Miraa May, if you've seen her at Carnival, she's active. Carnival is my playground, it's my world, it's my event, it's my Christmas.
I do love a carny still.
And we wrote a tune, and then we went into lockdown, so there was no Carnival that year. And we decided collectively, but it was Mira's idea to put the tune out as a love letter to Notting Hill Carnival and give all the P's to the community around Carnival, particularly from the Grenfell tragedy. And One Vibe is a charity that I work with, and we gave all the funds from the streaming, from the radio, from every part of profit. So there's no management, there's no distribution, and it went all the way into one pot. And I can say today that has made £38,000.
Gratitude, you know.
Yes.
Gratitude.
I love that.
And you know what? Even the
love
other
that.
day, we took 40 kids.
Oh, I love that.
We took
man.
40 kids to to watch the One Love movie. It continues to trickle into the community, and I thank you.
I'll do that all day, you know.
Yeah, I know you would.
I'll do that.
I know
all
you
day.
would.
Like,
But
listen, if you can just bust me to just get there and get back home to my youth, I will do that shit all day.
But I give thanks because not many people would have the initial reaction to do that. But also, you've done way more than you might think with your voice in that alone.
Yeah.
So thank you.
100.
Thank you.
Gratitude is the attitude.
Gratitude is attitude.
Miraa May, the legend, the OG. I'm saying it first. Gratitude, one devotion, Toddla T, you know the vibe.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Big. Later.